We are recording the first episode of season 2 of Knots Landing. We finished season 1 last week. We are officially in season 2, which is very exciting. Like I said, season 1 kind of builds up to what Knots Landing becomes, and then in season 2 you start seeing those elements of what the core of Knots Landing really is. So I'm excited we're here in season 2.
Me too. Yes. Love the Abby character coming.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot about Abby in this one. We'll talk a lot about Abby for the next couple of years. But this one, the first thing I noticed when it started, by the way, the first 2 episodes of season 2 are a 2-parter. They're called Hitchhike parts 1 and 2. And they were written by Don Murray is the first thing I noticed when the episode started. The first credit came up and it said written by Don Murray.
Yes, you did. Yeah, we were excited about that.
Yeah, I either never knew, I'm sure I knew at some point, but I had forgotten that he wrote this opener, which is pretty cool. I think it's really great. I think he did a great job.
He did. Yes, he really did. It's about him, and he did a great job.
And what's really kind of fun is that he gets to establish a lot of, like, really important things about the series as the writer for this episode. He gets to be the very first person who writes for Abby. And Abby is, of course, a huge character, is a very important character in this series. So Don Murray kind of gets to be the one who decides who Abby is and what she's going to be about, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow, that's true. Yeah, and she's huge in this show.
I would say there is no Knots Landing without Abby.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
you need Abby, or you don't have Knots Landing.
You don't have Knots Landing. You have a very boring Knots Landing.
That's the thing. I think after they finished season 1 and they realized they had something and the ratings were really good, they're like, okay, we can't keep it with this formula that it's just about these 4 couples and their day-to-day lives. That's not going to be interesting. I bet they were like, we need our JR, right? We need our character that's going to stir the pot, you know?
Ah, well put. Yeah, that's a very good insight that they needed a JR, and so they bring Abby.
Oh, yeah, and boy, does she fit the bill.
Oh, yeah.
Time and time and time and time again.
Bigger and bigger all the time.
She's so fun.
She is fun. She's fun. I love this character.
Donna Mills is amazing, and she's gorgeous. She's one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life.
Yep, me too. And she's very sweet, very, very sweet.
I've only ever heard good things about Donna Mills.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of interviews over the years with her, and she's just the opposite of the character, and just very, very sweet.
Honestly,
very mom.
Every actor that's ever been on this show, I've only ever heard positive things about. I've only ever heard that pretty much everyone who is on this show at any point is just a really nice, good person, which is rare. And there's no characters where I have to be like, oh yeah, I like this character, but they're played by this real life asshole. Like, they all have really good reputations as people, which is really nice.
Yeah, yeah. And when they did a reunion show many years ago, they just have such a great rapport with each other, and they have so much fun, and you can just tell that they really respect each other. Just really had a lot of good friendships come from that show, on and off the show.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny you bring up that reunion. I think it was Knots Landing together again. That was in 2005. That, before anything else, before DVDs, before anything else, that was the first time I ever saw anything to do with Knots Landing, because you were very excited to watch it in 2005. 3 or so years before I ever watched it, you were really excited to see that on TV, that they were going to do the reunion. And I watched it with you. I remember watching it with you when I was really young. I had no idea what the show was. I just knew that you were excited about it. So I stayed up and I watched it with you. That reunion special, together again, is the first time I ever saw anything to do with the show. So that's kind of fun. So we have digressed, but back on topic. The beginning of this episode, I think, is really striking. It's really good, I think. It's really attention-grabbing because it starts with Sid just driving down the road, but there's already this kind of tense music in the background, and you're already on the edge of your seat, like, something bad's gonna happen to Sid. What's gonna happen?
Yeah, what's coming down the road here?
And Karen is backstage getting Diana ready for this high school performance. I think they're doing like a fundraiser or something.
Yeah, at the high school.
Yeah, and all the kids are putting on their own performances. Her new boyfriend or love interest after she dumped Terry at the end of the last season is, oh, I can't remember this kid's name. He's not really in the episode, but there's another boy that Diana is interested in, and he's in this rock band. And they're going to put on this performance at the high school. And it's kind of cutting between the high school and Sid driving down the road. And it's kind of upping the intensity a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why are we cutting back and forth? And then on his way, a girl on the side of the road stops Sid. I think he's probably at a stoplight. She walks up to the window and she's trying to hitchhike. And he says, no, I'm not giving you a ride. And she kind of backs off. The light turns green. He starts to drive away. And he sees in his rearview mirror that she's getting bothered by a couple guys in a van. They were kind of grabbing at her and saying, hey, come on, let's go have some fun, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Sid is a good person.
Yes, he is, being Sid, you know.
So he goes back and he says, hey, get in the car, trying to keep her from potentially a very dangerous situation. And she gets in the car and they start driving, and he says, I'm going to the high school. And she goes, oh, okay, that works for me, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then she asks him how much money he has.
Mm-hmm.
And he should have said $0.
Zero, yes, he should have said, I have no money at all. And she says, do you have like $100 on you? And he says, maybe. No, don't say maybe.
Right? Say no.
I have nothing. I have no money.
I don't have any cash. I've got my credit cards. That's it.
Yep, that's it. That's all I ever carry. Uh-huh.
But anyway, she
yes,
says,
and then she wants money to go home. And then he says, I'll take you to the bus station and, buy you a bus ticket, but I'm not giving you money.
Right. And he's really standing his ground.
He is.
And then we cut back to the high school for a bit. And this band that Diana's little crush is in, it's pretty good.
They're pretty good.
It's not bad.
Yeah. They're rocking it. They're
They're
good.
I wrote down, Karen is just deciding what will happen again. She's doing what she did at the very beginning of the series when she decided that field trip was canceled. The band finishes and she's helping Diana backstage, and the band finishes their song and the audience really likes it and they're cheering, and the stage manager, whatever, probably the director of this show, trying to keep it on schedule, is like, okay, come on guys, we only have 30 seconds to transition into the next act or we're gonna run late. And Karen is like, the audience wants an encore, and he's like, what are you talking about? It's not a rock concert. What are you talking about? I'm just trying to get all these kids done with their performances on time. And she's like, oh, is this show for them or for you? And she like pushes them back on stage to do an encore. And it's like, Karen thinks she's the center of the goddamn universe.
Yes, she does. Like, if, I'm running the show. You're not running the show. If I say that they want more, they're going to get more. Get back out there.
Like, I love Karen to pieces. She's probably second or third my favorite character, but she's so funny.
She is funny. Just takes over in just about every situation.
She thinks the world revolves around her, and it's so funny.
Yes, like, or she knows what to do, what the best action to take. Well, they want an encore. Okay, well, then they're getting one.
Oh, my God.
Because I say so. So, yeah, go out there.
There she goes again.
There she goes again. That's a good phrase when you talk about her. There she goes again.
God, that's just Karen, me, and Karen. And that's funny. And it's, like I said before, so consistent. We will talk about it time and time and time again. Yeah. Karen will decide what is best for everyone.
Everybody.
All the time.
In every situation. Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly she's right. Sure. In most situations, she kind of does know what's best, as we'll see later in these episodes. But she just cracks me up.
She's funny.
She'll just decide what's happening, and that's what's going to happen, I guess.
She's just so endearing.
And then back in the car, Pam is this girl's name that Sid has picked up. She's still egging him on for money. He's still refusing to give her money. And she says, well, give me all your money or I'm going to cry out the window, rape. And he's like, what?
Yeah, what? You wouldn't do that.
And then they drive past a couple of cops and she does. She
does.
She sticks her head out the window and starts screaming for help, and the cops come and arrest Sid. And while this is happening, I really like this setup. Diana's doing her performance with her couple of friends of hers, where she's performing like this Broadway song, If My Friends Could See Me Now. And it's plays over Sid being arrested. That happy, like, chipper song is being played over this horrible thing that's happening to Sid. And it's a nice contrast. I think it was an interesting way to do it. I enjoyed the scene. It really makes it jarring and, like, kind of takes you back a little bit. Like, this is happening to Sid, who has been established over the first season to be, like, morally upstanding, the best guy around.
Well, and, he's headed there, watch his daughter in this show, and it's supposed to be a fun night, and now this has happened.
Yep. And they take him to the station, and everybody in the town knows Sid because he is a business owner in a small town, so everybody knows him. So he's in the holding cell, and one of the cops is like, Sid, what the hell are you doing in there? And he looks at the charges, and it kind of sobers the cop up, like, oh my God, somebody accused Sid of this?
That can't be right.
Right?
Yeah.
And takes Sid out of the holding cell to brings him to his office. While this is happening, Pam is, like, sitting with the cops, and she's, like, flirting with them and joking around. Of course, it's never brought up in this episode. If you had actually just been assaulted, not how you would be behaving.
Very true. Yeah, true.
I mean, yeah, you can't judge people by how they react in a stressful situation.
No.
But still,
in this situation, when you're accusing somebody of that, and then you're acting that, yeah.
Anyway, Sid calls Richard. That's his first phone call, is to Richard, because he's a lawyer and his neighbor and his friend. So he calls Richard, and Richard is like, excuse me?
Saint Sid?
And he's writing down all the information. And Laura can tell that something's wrong. And she's like, well, what's wrong? And he's like, some girl accused Sid of trying to rape her. And he's like, Sid? Like, are you joking me?
Can't be serious, face.
Right?
Yeah.
And Sid's cop friend is like, look, she'll have her fun tonight. She'll get the attention that she's after. She probably won't even show up for the preliminary hearing. It's not a big deal. Just go home. And Karen is there because Richard has brought Karen with him. And they're going to leave the police station to go home. And of course, as they're leaving, she gets all upset that they're letting Sid go. Pam starts screaming at him, screaming at Karen, really, like, oh, let me tell you something about your husband, everything he was doing to me, and on and on and on. And like, oh, poor Karen in that situation. Yeah. That's terrible.
Oh, it is. It's terrible. I mean, here gets a phone call from Richard, has to tell her this, goes to the police station, then this girl starts screaming all these things at her, and you're just standing there trying to process the whole thing. Like, why am I even here? What's even happening?
And then they get home, and I don't think Diana knows exactly what's going on yet. I don't think they have told the kids at this point what's going on.
Not yet, I don't think.
But Diana's in the kitchen, and Sid says, hey, you never hitchhike, do you? And she says, oh, I'm crazy. I'm not stupid. But I'm like, girl, you did.
You did. Yeah, you did. Your mom caught you and you acted like it was no big deal. Everybody does it.
I mean, yes, now after that episode, because in that episode, of course, that happens to Laura, and that's in Laura's episode.
That's right. And
so
she did say she would never do it again.
Sure, she learns her lesson, but it's like, don't act like you're so above it. You were doing it a year ago. But anyways, after Diana leaves the kitchen, they're kind of trying to talk about something else, Karen and Sid are, and Sid brings up his little sister Abby, and it's the first time Abby's mentioned in the series, and I get all excited, like, oh, here comes Abby.
Yay, Abby!
His little sister Abby is going to come to town for a visit. She has left her husband, Jeff, who we will meet. boy, will we meet Jeff.
Oh, big story there.
Very big story.
Yes.
Abby has the worst time of her life at the end of this season. I won't spoil what else happens,
Right.
but between everything going on with her ex-husband and something else just horrible that happens at the end of season 2, beginning of season 3, Abby is going through it.
Yeah.
But anyway, at this point, she has freshly left her husband with her two
kids.
young children, Olivia and Brian. Olivia and Brian and Abby, of course, all major staples of the show, will be around for a very long time. But she's on her way to San Diego. She's decided that she's going to move to San Diego, and she's going to stop in Knots Landing on the way to visit Sid and the family. So she's coming.
She's coming.
Watch out, everybody.
She's coming.
Watch out, Abby's coming. And Karen is unsure if they should be relying on Richard for this thing that's happening to Sid. He's not a defense lawyer. He's not even a criminal lawyer.
Right.
He's not a trial lawyer. This is not his field of expertise.
No,
he's
corporate lawyer,
yeah,
I
he's
think.
a corporate lawyer, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, oh, let's call our lawyer. I forget his name. I'm sorry. He's in this episode, and I have forgotten his name.
I don't remember his name either. Sorry, too. Yeah. Gosh, I can't remember.
No, but she says, let's just have him handle it. And Sid says, well, he's not a criminal lawyer either. Let's just trust Richard with it. And she kind of relents at this point, like, fine, whatever. Karen says that Richard wants to talk to Pam, the girl who's accusing Sid. And Sid's like, oh, that's a good idea. I was going to go talk to her myself. And Karen's like, are you out of your damn mind?
Yeah, mind? Really? The girl's accusing you of this, and you're going to go try and talk to her?
Like,
and you don't think that'll make matters worse?
Like, you're going to go see her alone? What if she says that you assaulted her again?
Yes.
He's like, I didn't think of that.
Threatened her life, you know?
Like, and he's like, oh, I didn't think of that. And it's like, Sid very much lives in his own fantasy world.
Yes.
Where everyone's a good person and no one's gonna try to screw you over for any reason.
Right.
Everything just works out in Sidland. Everything is perfect.
Everything. All the time.
And if there's a problem, it's not a big deal and it's gonna blow over and we don't have to deal with it because Sidland is a utopia.
There you go.
I wish I lived there.
I know.
He thinks he lives there.
All the time.
It's wild.
It is wild.
Even Karen, like, kneels next to him and is, like, running her fingers through his hair and is like, oh, sweet Sid.
Yeah, oh, sweet Sid. Like, oh, sweet, stupid Sid. You think you can go over there and just talk to her and she'll say, okay, you're right. It never happened. I'm lying. Okay, I'll fix it. No. Come on, Sid. Wake up.
Later that day, oh, here she comes. And it's that point of view shot in her car and she's driving the car into the neighborhood. And there's that video that I mentioned before several episodes ago. That's like a 200 episode recap of the show that the producers made as like a joke.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's so funny when Abby comes in and they're like, and just when you thought it was safe to go back to the cul-de-sac. And it's this shot of her in the car and it's the Jaws theme. Just
that's good. That's good.
It's really funny.
Perfect, actually.
Just seeing this shot in context made me think of that. It's very, very funny.
It is funny.
But Abby's here.
Yeah,
Watch out. Lock up your husbands. Abby's here.
Yes. Lock up your husbands and don't do any favors for her. Don't. Yeah. No.
But she's here. So are Olivia and Brian, who are so cute. They're so cute. Olivia and Brian are so cute.
Yeah, they are very cute.
They're adorable.
Yeah, they're good. They're very good.
Oh my gosh. Tanya Crow, who plays Olivia and plays her for many, many years, is a very good actress.
She is.
She's probably like, I want to say 7, 8, maybe at the beginning of the show. And she is just a very good actress.
She is.
An excellent actress. She has a lot of big episodes and big scenes just in her first couple of years on the show. Olivia gets a lot to do and she gets to be in a lot of scenes with the adult actors and she really holds her own in those scenes. Like,
she does.
It's not an actor and like some kid that they're talking to. It really feels like there's 2 actors on the screen who are really playing off of each other, even when Olivia's in a scene with an adult. And most of her scenes, I think, are with just one-on-one with an important adult in her life, whether that be her mom or her dad or Val or Gary becomes a very important figure in her life. And
yeah, she's starts a relationship with Val in this episode a
She
little
does,
bit.
and that becomes a very important part of this
It
show
is.
too, is
Yeah.
Val's relationship with Olivia is a very important part of this show,
is.
especially in the early days. And they do have their first meeting in this episode. And then Olivia has been annoying her mother all the way to Knots Landing by repeating everything she says. And then
like every
Brian-
child has done to us forever.
And Brian has this annoying little tuba. It's not really a tuba. I don't know what to call it. It's like a horn. He has this annoying little toy horn that he keeps tooting through the whole episode. He doesn't. I don't think he has maybe a few lines of dialogue in these 2 episodes. He's mostly just going.
Yes, every time somebody asks him a question or when he's supposed to be saying something, he blows on that little horn.
Like, I say what you want about Abby. She deserves a gold star for not killing them.
Yes, for not saying, "Oh my God," and taking it and throwing it out.
Throwing it on the road in the freeway.
Yes, and running over at her. Yeah.
Karen greets Abby very warmly in this first meeting, which I have to wonder, like, has she been Abby her whole life? You know how Abby is.
Yeah.
Very manipulative. But Karen, at this point, doesn't seem to have any problem with her. So I guess their history for the last however many years, 18, 19 years, has been positive.
Pretty much. I mean, the only time in this episode, we'll get to that too, is when Eric is babysitting and she comes in so late and Karen's there and she tells her, this is the first night in your house with your kids and you go off and spend...
That's not in this episode. No, did that happen tonight? I didn't see that. That's in the next episode.
Is that the next episode? Do I remember that well? That's the next episode?
You must, because they don't live in that house yet.
Oh, that's right. Wow, how did I remember that?
I don't know. You must have remembered it so clearly.
Oh, yeah. Because that just all went together.
You remembered it so well that you thought it happened.
I did. Wow.
No, that's in the next episode. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing that I put that scene in that episode. Wow.
That's very
funny. Well,
at
least they're close to each other.
Anyway.
The episodes. Yeah.
I know that's wild that you remembered that.
It is.
And you hallucinated that you saw it.
That I saw it. That we watched it tonight.
But yeah, Karen and Abby seem to have a very positive relationship.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah.
And it's interesting to me because Abby and Karen, of course, throughout this whole show, their personalities clash constantly.
Yeah.
It's like, have you never, I'm sure she's had conflicts with Abby in the past. I guess it's different. She didn't live next door when they were younger, I suppose.
Yeah, and you're not that much involved with her life before.
No.
I mean, she did live quite a ways away, so.
True. But having her in close proximity doesn't do that relationship a lot of favors.
No.
And I wrote down, how are Sid and Abby related? They are polar opposites as people. Sid is moral to the point of naivety.
Mm-hmm.
And Abby is very worldly and understands how the world works.
Right.
And manipulates her position in the world, uses whatever means necessary to get what she wants.
Yeah.
Very different people that apparently have the same parents and were raised in the same house.
Right. And, as it goes on, Sid, of course, doesn't see her that way.
Oh, of course, that's his baby sister, and she wouldn't do this, and she wouldn't do
Right.
that. We'll see a lot of that in the coming episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But she is quite a bit younger than he is. He says that she's 14 years younger than him.
Oh, yeah.
So Abby is actually 7 years younger than Karen. So at her start of being on the show, Abby is only 30, maybe 31. They're all together at the Fairgate's house because Abby's here. None of them have ever met her before. So they're all getting to know Abby. And it's so fun watching this room of people, what she does to every single person in this room over the years. It's very fun to see before the shit hits the fan.
Yes, when you know what's coming, you know who she is and what she'll do. Yeah.
And you're like, ooh, you are not gonna be all happy with Abby for very long.
No, not any
they're
one
all
of you.
For today, they're all joking together and getting along and having a good time. And Kenny comes in, which, like, why is Kenny here? They're separated. And Ginger says, Kenny, why are you here? Like, I just want to chat. And, no one was home. I thought that might be over here. And Ginger stands her ground, is like, it is not appropriate for you to be here right now. I don't want you here. But Abby immediately sets her sights on Kenny. She sees a cute young guy at the door who's having some tension with his wife. So that's prime real estate for Abby.
Yes, indeed.
And she starts flirting with him immediately. And then Karen and Sid are talking in the kitchen. Karen really doesn't want Richard to handle this. She thinks it's the wrong thing to do. She doesn't think that he's capable of handling a case like this. Right. He's not used to this kind of thing. And she's like, you're worried. I can tell because you always drink a lot of water when you're worried. He's like, or maybe I'm just thirsty. And he's like, it's fine. Classic Sid. It's fine. It's not time to worry. I'll let you know when we need to worry. And she's like, yeah, okay. Are you coming back out? And it's very cute. He says, I need a drink of water. It's really cute. Like, I might be a little worried about this.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Richard has, as far as we know, have never even taken on a case like this. It's just not his area of expertise. And yes, he's a friend, but, you go for someone that knows what they're doing in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and to Sid's credit, he also says, well, our usual lawyer that we talk to isn't a criminal lawyer either. So maybe you just need to find some third party who is a criminal lawyer, but anyway, Abby and Gary are sitting on the couch together, and she's already kind of flirting with him. And at this point, it looks like he's feeling very awkward about it, because, like, he's, like, picking up on it, and he's kind of, like, moving away from her on the couch.
Yeah, like, no thank you. I don't,
But we have our first glimpse into who Abby is. She will flirt with any man with a pulse. She will try to get her fingers in every pot. She wants to stir up everything. She wants to be the one in the know of everything, the one with all the power in all the situations.
Yep.
So she already has to think about, like, who these people are, how they're related to each other, and what I can do with that information.
Yes, how I can use that to my advantage.
Yeah, you can see the wheels turning in her head already.
Always.
Which I really like. Like, she is giving off this very personable, very friendly persona, but I think Donna Mills plays it so well, where you can, even though she's saying these very nice, friendly things, you can see in her acting that something's not quite connecting, that she's got something going on in her mind other than what she's saying.
Yep.
It's very subtle. I don't even really know how to describe it. You can just see it. You could just see the Abby.
Yeah, you can see
already.
it in her gorgeous eyes. You could just feel it from her, definitely.
Yeah, I think she's brilliant. I think she comes in and she knows who this character is and how she's going to play her, and it's really, really cool because she is Abby. Like, she's talking to people in a different way than she does down the road, but she is Abby.
She is Abby.
It's really nice. And then Olivia comes downstairs asking where her books are, and she's like, well, they're packed up. Why don't you just read one of Diana's? And Val sees her and, like, gets this look on her face where Val has so much trauma related to children and the fact that she has a daughter that she didn't get to raise.
Right. Missed out on all those things with Lucy.
Just seeing Olivia kind of, like, triggers something in Val that maybe is not the healthiest thing.
I was thinking the same thing when we were watching it. I thought yeah, you've got a real big problem there that hasn't been resolved.
Absolutely. If anyone on this show needed therapy, it's Valine Ewing.
Absolutely.
I love her to pieces. She needs to go to therapy. because she has so much trauma in her life surrounding kids, especially.
Yeah.
Her daughter, Lucy.
Right.
And
Her mother.
I don't, and her mother, yes.
Mhm.
I don't think it's the healthiest thing for her to immediately attach herself to this little girl. I think it's messy, and it does become quite messy as things happen in the show. And Val and Abby don't have the best relationship, but she still wants a relationship with Olivia, and it just becomes very messy. And Val, in this moment, is maybe crossing a line. It's a
Yeah,
little
yeah, you
bit,
could say that, yeah.
she has no nefarious motives or anything,
Right,
but she's just not resolving her own pain.
right. She doesn't understand exactly why she's doing this or drawn to her. There's just so much unresolved pain and yeah,
She's
trauma in her
trying to
life.
she's had this hole in her soul
Yeah,
for going on 20 years now. It must be like her just trying to fill it with something.
right.
And she sees this little girl who seems lost for
Mhm.
one reason or another, because Olivia is going through a lot right now. And Val can like sense it. And she does this a lot where she's like, I'm gonna parent this child.
Mhm.
And it's like, you really need to deal with your own stuff.
Yes.
You can't just be friends with every child that you see and have that fix you. Like,
Right, and
you
try and
really,
help them through any kind of little tough times they're having because when you watch in the beginning of the show her telling her story about what happened with Lucy and how much, of course it's still going to upset you, but it brings it up so much, so traumatic still that yeah, she definitely should have gotten help and how to move on and deal with all of that.
yeah. But in this moment, Val follows Olivia upstairs to talk to her. And Olivia's so cute, and Tanya Crowe does a beautiful job. She's a very strong actress, even this young. She's reading Black Beauty, which is a classic, an
Mm.
absolute classic. I read Black Beauty as a kid. Every horse girl everywhere has read Black Beauty. Not that I was a horse girl, but I was friends with a lot of horse girls, and every one of them knew Black Beauty.
That's nice. That's pretty cute.
And Val is kind of talking to her, and Olivia is still doing like the echoing game. And Val brings up Lucy almost immediately, and it's like, well, you kind of know why you're doing this.
That's
then.
right. Never mind what I said. I guess she does know why she is doing that. Yeah.
It's kind of weird and inappropriate, kind of like not in a major way, but like kind of try to recognize why you're doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Olivia's so cute. Val like kind of gets her to open up, and Olivia says, "We're getting a divorce," and it's so sad and it's so cute.
It is. She's just so
And she's
adorable.
adorable, and she's got like these big eyes, and she just
Yeah.
looks so sad. and and Val is very sweet. I mean, all that aside, all of the like trauma stuff aside, she is being very sweet to Olivia. And she's like, "Oh, you are? Well, that can't be easy."
Hmm.
And they just kind of get to talking about it. And it's nice. And it is the foundation for a very important relationship in this show. Val and Olivia we will see more of these two characters together. And it's very nice and very sweet. And I do think they do have a genuine connection. I think that genuinely Val cares very deeply about Olivia, regardless of any reason why she approached the relationship in the first place.
Right.
I think genuinely she loves Olivia.
Oh, absolutely. And Olivia knows it as
Yeah.
it goes on. Yeah.
Olivia knows a couple years down the road when things are difficult for her, she knows that Val will take care of her, and she goes to Val.
Goes right to her. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very nice, and I think it's a very genuine relationship the two of them have.
Yeah.
I just think that the beginnings of it, Val is kind of not dealing with her own pain and kind of taking it out on this child. But hey, it develops into something positive.
But it moves on from there, and
yeah, it becomes something genuinely very positive. So
yes.
And then it's early in the morning, and Brian, with his little is bringing the newspaper to Karen and Sid. They're still sleeping. and he blows the horn right in Karen's ear, and she jumps. And she's got to be like, when are they leaving? But the newspaper's on the floor, and she picks it up, and the front page is, I think it says, like, Knots Landing auto dealer charged with assault of teen. And there's a picture, and it's that moment in the police station where Pam is screaming at Karen and Sid. That's the picture on the newspaper. And I'm like, there was a journalist in the police station?
Oh, that's right.
It doesn't make
when
any
did
sense.
that happen? Who took a picture of that?
Who's snapping a picture of that?
Yeah, come on.
I don't think that they just let journalists hang out in the police station. I don't think anybody was there snapping a quick photo
we didn't
for the
notice it
newspaper.
anyway. Yeah, no.
It's very strange. It probably would just be a picture of him, like from an ad for the car dealership
Right.
or something like that.
Right.
It's very bizarre. I don't know why this picture would have been taken. But
yeah, good point. That is strange. Yeah, you would have thought it would have just been of Sid.
And word spreads very fast in Knots Landing. Everybody now is very wary of Sid. Very immediately don't want to talk to him, don't want to deal with it. Laura is now working in a real estate office. I believe she's a secretary at this point. And there's a house on the cul-de-sac that's for sale. And she kind of is trying to help her boss find someone to buy this house.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple comes to look at it, and they're kind of like whispering to each other. And Laura's boss is like, hey, you should have told me that your neighbor is Sid Fairgate. And she was like, why?
Mm-hmm.
And word has spread apparently within 24 hours that these people don't want to buy this house because Sid lives next door and they have a daughter.
Yeah, that's pretty fast moving.
Very fast moving.
Yes.
Which, like, yeah, and Knots Landing is always depicted as a very small community. So, sure, it would spread pretty fast. Everybody knows Sid in Knots Landing, like I said.
Yeah.
But then they're speaking to... Who are they speaking to in this scene? I don't know. But Karen is reading in the newspaper Pam's statement, which is that she's not a great person. She's not choosy about who she sleeps with. She doesn't really care about that kind of thing. But that still doesn't give the right for someone to try to rape me. And Karen's like, it makes me mad because she's right. Like, if she wasn't lying, she would be correct and she would be in the moral right, and I would be on her side if she wasn't lying. And it kind of...
absolutely. Yes, she would. She'd be advocating for her if she wasn't, lying.
It really infuriates Karen. It would, especially since Karen is Karen, and she has very strong ideals and strong opinions about how the world works and how the world should work.
Mm-hmm.
And she agrees with this girl in theory.
Right. But she knows her husband did not do this,
and it's making her mad.
Yeah. Yes. It's like you're using that. You're doing all that, and I totally agree with you. There is no reason for that to happen, no matter what your lifestyle, but she knows her husband, and she knows that it's absolutely not true.
And this is starting to spread so far in the community that the kids now know about this. Michael gets into a fist fight at school because a kid at school is talking crap about his dad. Eric comes home and he's upset about it. And Eric actually yells at Sid, and he says, why'd you have to pick up the tramp in the first place?
Yeah.
And it's very subtle. They don't even cut to her. You don't even see her in the scene, but you can hear Olivia's little voice after he says that, going, why'd you pick up that tramp in the first place? Because she's playing the Echo game still.
Yeah.
They don't acknowledge it.
Perfect.
They don't acknowledge it at all. They don't even show her in the scene.
No, they don't.
It's really funny. It's like, what was that? Diana's friends are talking about it. Her friend Helen Hunt, a pre-fame Helen Hunt, is in this episode, playing one of Diana's friends. She plays her friend in a couple of episodes. Helen Hunt does.
Yeah, she does.
She's talking about how Sid brought her home one night and like walked her up to the door, and she opened the door and all the lights were off, and she said, oh, I guess my parents aren't home. And Sid was like, oh, then I better go in with you, like, just to make sure you're safe.
Right.
And she's kind of reading it in a different way now, like he was like coming on to her or something. And
sad.
It's really sad.
Very sad.
Because it's something you would think about for sure.
It is. It really is, like we said, once you put this out there, things start to come up in your head like that. You would. You would start to maybe wonder that a little bit. Was that appropriate or not if in the situation that's going on?
I think it's totally understandable. I think she's not being malicious or anything. She's just kind of thinking like, "Oh my God," you know? And she's like, "It's really sad because I really thought that he was the nicest of my friends' dads." And
Oh,
it's sad.
it's
And
very
and
sad.
Diana overhears this, and it's very sad. Richard goes to see Pam and does the stupidest thing of his life. But the first thing I noticed in this scene and in an earlier scene, they've put very obvious black electrical tape around brand names in this episode.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
there's black tape over Kellogg's on the cornflakes, and there's
Oh, they did. Now that you say that. Yeah, the Kellogg's one, yeah.
And then at the beginning of the episode, there's really obvious black tape around Minute Maid on their
that's
orange
funny.
juice. It's really funny. But anyway, yes, Richard has gone to see Pam, and he's an idiot.
Ah, Richard.
Like, tries to get her to drop it in the conventional way at first. Like, hey, he's a stand-up member of the community. People are going to take his side. He's really well-liked in this community. You cannot win. Trying to get her to give up the ghost a little bit.
Right.
But she doesn't. And then he does something idiotic. And he bribes her with a surfboard and new scuba gear. And you can take my buddy's house on the beach.
House. Yep.
For a couple of months if you want to. He says a month or two.
And she says 3. Uh-huh.
It's so stupid.
So stupid, Richard.
It's the dumbest thing he's ever done in his life.
Yeah.
Because obviously this is illegal.
Yes.
You cannot do this. You cannot bribe people to drop charges. You will go to jail. But he doesn't know what to do because he's so out of his element and out of his depth that this is the only thing he can think to do.
Yeah.
And he is, I think, genuinely trying to save Sid, but he is making it worse. And Sid probably should have just listened to his wife.
Yeah. Absolutely. Should have listened to his wife when she kept saying we need a criminal attorney, knows what they're doing. Yeah.
And Karen and Sid have this cute argument. They're still fighting about Richard and what they should do. And Sid's like, "Do you have to have the last word in every single conversation?" And she says, "Yes." And he goes, "Yeah, I thought so." And from the bathroom, she goes, "Well, just as long as you know it." And it's very cute.
It is.
Like, they're still finding ways to kind of joke around with each other, even though this horrible thing is happening. And it's kind of cute. And
it is. Kind of lighten it up a little bit and try and get through it. Yeah.
These two have excellent chemistry. They really do. They have
good chemistry.
Very good chemistry. You really believe that this is a relationship that is almost 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That they know each other on that kind of level.
Right.
It's really nice. I really enjoy Karen and Sid. Sid gets on my nerves sometimes. So does Karen.
So does Karen. I was going to say, so does Karen. But hey,
they're really cute together.
They really are.
And Richard's boss wants him to give the case away. He doesn't think Richard can handle it. Look, we have this other lawyer. He used to be a criminal lawyer. We could still keep it within the firm, but you don't have to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And Richard takes this as a personal affront.
Yes.
And so he's not going to let go of this case for anything.
No.
Because obviously we've known the whole time we've known Richard that he's feeling so inadequate in his job that he is going to hold on to anything that's going to give him any kind of credibility.
Yes, and he thinks he is going to find a way to win this because there's no way this is going to happen to Sid, and that's going to make him look amazing in front of his boss, and he's going to get all these accolades for having won this case. It's gone so public, and then he does something that dumb.
Very dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to see Pam again, and she already has all this gear and this surfboard. He's like, "Oh, look at all this stuff." And her mom, who I love this actress.
Me too.
She's in a lot of stuff. Most notably, she is the housekeeper in 2.5 Men. Was on that show for many years. Well, she's been in many, many, many shows. She's been in a lot of stuff. And she's an excellent actress. She does really well in this episode, I think.
I think so, too.
I think she's great.
She is.
I like this character, too. I really like this character of this mom who just believes her kid, just believes that this happened. And damn it, like, this kind of thing happens to people like us,
Right.
people in poverty, all the time. That we say something happened, but the people with money and influence, they just make it go away and nothing ever happens. And this time I'm going to make sure something happens because this happened to my kid and I'm not going to let it go.
Yep, no matter what, you're not getting her to drop charges because he thinks she's going to leave and go sign the papers. She says she's not signing anything.
Which, good for her. Hey,
Yes.
if you actually believed that this happened and your child was telling the truth,
Yes.
absolutely this is what you would do.
Yeah.
And she says that we can't be bought. You can't come around here and bribe my child, especially if I'm not here, by the way. This is a minor that he was talking to, under 18 years old.
Oh, true.
Bribing a child.
Bribing a child.
And going behind her mother's back to offer her things. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Such a bad thing to do,
Oh,
Richard.
my God. It's one of the worst. I mean, Richard does worse things in his career. Let's not kid ourselves.
Right.
But this is one of the worst things that he's ever done.
It is. Yeah.
And they find out that the judge has decided that there's enough evidence here to go ahead to trial. And it kind of hits Sid like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. His expression on his face is just devastation. And
Karen and Richard are having an argument. Like, Karen's like, you told us this wouldn't happen. You said you were going to take care of it, blah, 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 blah. And Sid is just deer in the headlights, just staring.
Yes.
And the camera, like, slowly pushes in on him as realization just dawns on him that he is screwed.
He's screwed. This is real. This is actually happening to me. Yeah.
He has been forcibly removed from Sidland, and he is in the real world now, and he does not like it.
No.
This is not one of his things that's just gonna go away.
Just go away. It was just stick with Richard. It'd be fine. It'll go away. Don't worry about it. Oh, no, not so much.
That's the end of part 1. That's the end of the first episode. And we go on to the second episode because it's just part 2 of this story. It's all one continuous story. And in the beginning of the second part, Richard tells Karen and Sid that the prosecutor offered a plea deal, if he cops to, I think, simple assault and maybe contributing to delinquency or something like that.
I'm not sure. I think that one might have been dropped too.
But he says if he cops to a couple of lesser charges, they'll make the more serious ones go away. And Sid says absolutely not. I didn't do anything.
Right.
So, no.
And Karen says the same.
Which I get.
Yeah, she agrees.
I get both sides of this. That, like, you can't guarantee that even if you didn't do anything, that nothing is going to happen. And you're just going to get off completely. You can't guarantee that.
No.
You have no idea. Juries are humans. And you have no idea what they're going to do. But you also don't want to admit to wrongdoing that you didn't do.
You don't want that on your record. You don't want people thinking that of you. They're going to say, well, then if he did that, did he do this?
Yeah. I was wondering out loud, would this actually go to court with this level of evidence? Because there is none. There's no evidence anything actually happened. She said something happened.
Right.
But there's no actual evidence.
No physical evidence at all.
I mean, you don't need physical evidence in a case like this, or any case, really.
Well, right, but I mean, it's just her saying what she said and him saying that none of that happened. This is what happened.
Right.
And there is no other evidence.
There's no corroborating evidence. There's no one who said they saw
no
anything.
Witnesses, nothing.
Sid has probably, I would imagine, the most squeaky clean record of anyone on planet Earth. So he has no prior convictions.
Yeah, that's
nothing
true
to
too.
paint a picture of like a pattern of behavior or anything like that. No one said they saw anything. There's no physical evidence. Sid, for all accounts, is a model citizen. There's no way I think this would even get this far. I don't think a judge would say that there's enough evidence to go ahead with a trial, because there's just not.
Yeah, there isn't. There is no real evidence at all.
But, I mean, it is going to trial, so it is something they have to deal with. And I also wrote down, is Richard looking into her history? Is he doing anything other than just offering bribes?
No.
He's not doing what lawyers are supposed to do,
Right.
and figure out her story and her past and
Her background, anything.
who she's
Her,
connected to,
people that she's associated with,
right?
and
What she's been convicted of in the past, because she does have
uh-huh,
a record,
right.
and nothing,
Nothing.
nothing.
Doing nothing.
He's just trying to persuade her to drop the charges, and when she's not doing that, he's offering her surfboards.
Right.
That's all
It-
he's doing.
That's all he's doing, and saying that Sid is perfect, and the jury will see that. So there you go. No, he didn't. He didn't follow up on anything.
And Diana has been kicked out of the band at her school because they're like, look, we were trying to get bookings, and right now you have the wrong last name, basically. We can't get any gigs right now if you're in the band, which would be devastating. It would make you very sad.
It would.
But in true Diana fashion, she is a little bit more dramatic than she needs to be about it.
Yeah.
And she does have a point. I just think her choice of words is really funny. Or she's like, "We're all sick and we're never gonna get any better." Is
Yeah.
a little dramatic. But
is.
it's also kind of true. Like, yeah, this is never going away ever.
No.
This is. Like, maybe to a degree, sure. But there's always going to be people that saw this in the newspaper.
Think that that's what happened.
That's true. You can't completely erase it. There's
No.
going to be some level of taint on your reputation forever, and there's nothing you can do about it. And she's upset with her dad for even picking her up in the first place, just like Eric was earlier.
Yeah.
And like, why did you do this? You've ruined our lives. And Sid gets mad.
He does get mad. They have another talk.
Not really a heart-to-heart this
time.
No,
it's not. It's not a heart-to-heart. It's him telling her, you're being selfish, you're being overly dramatic, and what do you think this is doing to me? What do you think it's doing to your mom? To all of us?
Which I understand. I can see both sides. Again, I can see why Sid's upset. I can see why he's angry that she cares so much about this band when all of this stuff is happening to him. But he does say, like, hey, if you think it's bad now, what are you going to do if I go to jail? Right. What are you going to do if the worst case scenario happens here? Like, you got to pull yourself together a little bit because we're not done yet, kiddo. Like,
right. And I mean, support the family. That's what you should be doing for your family.
I do like the part of his speech where he says, I think the only thing that's going to come out of this is that we're all a little more cynical and a little less willing to help a stranger. And I think that's the worst part of this, and it's the saddest part of this. And I like that.
I did too, because, well, like you said, what about thinking about you? If that were you, in a situation like that,
I would hope that someone would stop to help you.
And help you.
And I think that's very Sid. I think that's very true to his character.
Yeah.
That the thing that upsets him, like, he's facing literal jail time. And what's upsetting him the most is that the world is going to be a worse place, just a little bit,
Yeah, people are going to be afraid to help anyone after this, Yeah.
And that's kind of best case scenario, because worst case scenario is he gets convicted of this and everyone just thinks that a creep went to jail. And best case scenario, he gets vindicated, but now everyone's like, oh my God, if I help somebody, they're going to ruin my life. So it's a real sticky situation. I like the scene.
It's a good scene.
I like both of them in it. I can understand Diana's perspective. It's so hard to be 16 anyway.
It is.
And for this to be happening when you're 16.
Yeah, everybody's looking at you, not just the fact she was kicked out of the band. She's overhearing her friend talk to somebody, and
I mean, that's the worst of it. Overhearing your friend saying that they think your dad might have creeped on him is a really terrible thing to hear. Like, that's terrible.
It is. That's heartbreaking.
As a kid, trying to find your place in the world is gotta be very difficult. I think she could have been afforded a little more sympathy in the moment, but I understand both sides. I understand where both of them are coming from. Good scene. I liked it. Then Gary's at work and he's on the phone with one of their clients, and he's like, you want to come over here and say that to my face? Because I'm going to smash it in. And Sid's like, how many was that today? He's like, just 2. And it's really sweet.
It is.
And Gary is so sweet. He's a really good friend in this scene where he says, look, I'm sober and I'm getting my life back together, and you gave me my job back, even
Yep.
though I told you to stuff it.
Yep.
And I'm not going to let this ruin you. I have control of this company, and I will not let you at least lose this company. I won't let it happen because you are the reason that I even have a life right now. And it's really sweet. And it's really nice. And I wish Gary would have remembered this and remembered what a good friend Sid is to him and how much he owes Sid, because he forgets.
Yeah, yeah. No spoiler alerts here, but yeah,
we won't say too much, but he needed to remember this a little longer, that he owes his life to this man. And then Karen decides she's going to go see Pam, which I think is also not a great idea. It ends up solving the case that she went here.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a great idea.
No, it's very dangerous.
For her to speak with no lawyers present, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what these people are going to say.
No.
You don't know what they're going to do.
Or what your reaction is going to be
or what they're going to say you said. Like, you have no idea, and none of this is on the record, and it's very dangerous. You should not be doing this.
Yes, if you think she's lying in the first place, you know she's lying in the first place. What is she going to do to the fact that you were there and what you might have said? Or what she makes up that you were saying.
But she's here, and she's talking to them, and she's like, look, I know he didn't do it. You know he didn't do it. I want to tell you about him and about my family and my kids who are your age. So you know who we are, and you know what the hell you're doing, and whose life you're ruining right now.
And the mom was present at that point, wasn't she?
Yes, the mom was there. And she's like, I don't care. He did it. I don't want to hear about him. They start talking about Diana, and I can't remember how Diana comes up, but she's...
because she says she's a couple years younger than you in comparison a little bit.
His daughter is a couple years younger than you, and she loves her father, and oh my God. Karen gets the prize of the day for not killing her for saying this.
Yeah.
For saying, oh, I'm sure he loves her. She's his favorite age.
Uh-huh.
She would be dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad thing to say. She kept it together.
She did.
Kept her cool.
Good for Karen for not slapping her.
Wow. Because Karen...
That's a horrible thing to say.
I mean, come on.
And wow, Karen doesn't hit her, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then the mom, as Karen is leaving, because she realizes this isn't going to go anywhere, the mom comes out of the apartment and is like, hey, if he's so innocent, why did he send his lawyer here to bribe us? And Karen's like, what? And you can just tell watching Karen, she's like, oh shit, she's telling me the truth.
Her face. And she knew in that moment, we're screwed.
Yeah.
It's over. If she's telling the truth.
And I think she is.
Uh-huh.
And because she's like, well, you're lying. And she goes, look, I don't lie. I'm not a great person. Kick and I punch and I fight. I don't lie. And Karen is like, shit, she's telling me the truth.
Yeah.
She's absolutely telling me the truth. And she goes home and she's just sitting in the dark. And Sid comes home and she's like, Sid, we're screwed. We are it is over. We are screwed.
We're screwed.
Richard bribed them.
Yep.
And Sid gets pissed. Yeah. And I love that he doesn't question her. Not for a moment does he question her, like, oh, what do you mean? Oh, I'm sure he didn't do that, Karen. Richard wouldn't do that. Oh, they're just lying to you.
They're lying to you again.
No.
Yeah, very true.
Believes her instantly.
Yep.
Does not question her for a moment. One of the only times I think Sid ever does this, where he just takes what Karen is saying at face value and believes her, and thank God.
Wow.
But he does. He just believes her.
He does.
For whatever reason, maybe he can just tell.
By her demeanor and, yeah.
But he goes after Richard. Richard's outside bringing Jason home from school, and poor little Jason is standing there for this. But he comes over and he's like, Richard, you're fired. I don't want you anywhere near this case. Do not even talk to me. I know what you did. And did you offer them a bribe? And Richard doesn't deny it. He's like, listen, Sid. And that's just it. It's over. And Sid's like, don't touch this case. I don't want you on the case. We're done. And he leaves. And poor little Jason is like, here's the mail, Dad. Oh, it's
Yeah,
sad.
like,
Poor little
not
Jason.
understanding fully what's happening here, but Sid's yelling at my dad.
Poor little Jason. Boy, Jason goes through a lot.
He does.
Poor little Jason.
He really does.
And then they hire their other lawyer to take care of this.
Mhm.
And immediately he's doing the proper thing. He's doing discovery, which is what lawyers are supposed to do. Like, oh, how much money did you actually have on you?
Right.
Because you couldn't offer her $100 if you didn't have $100.
$100.
And would we go so far as to people believing that you would assault her, that you would lie about paying her for having sex with you? All of this stuff. It's like, oh my God, he's actually thinking about it as a case that he can win.
Right.
Which is a far cry from Richard.
Yes.
And he's actually helping them out and trying to figure out holes in her story and how they can figure this out. And
going back to where it happened and jogging his memory. All the things Richard should have been doing, but didn't do one of them.
Yeah, so thankfully they have this lawyer who they should have had from day one, and then Richard wouldn't have been able to offer them a bribe, and then they wouldn't be in as hot of water as they are right now.
Yeah. But he definitely should have listened to Karen when she told him this isn't what Richard does. He's not going to be able to do this case. We need to hire a criminal lawyer.
Well, I don't think this guy's a criminal lawyer either. He's just competent.
Oh, okay. I thought he probably
was. This is their lawyer.
Oh, that's right. It is their lawyer. That's right.
So he's just not as crappy of a lawyer as Richard is.
We're finding out more and more why Richard can't move up in the law firm that he's in.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, oh, Richard's just a shitty lawyer. Like, it's his fault, and he's just pity partying himself all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
But now we're at the car dealership, and this is Abby and Gary's first real scene together, and she's turning it up to 100. Oh my God, she's flirting so hard with him. What does she say that was making us laugh?
I know, I was just trying to think of that too.
Specific. I can't remember now, but...
Oh, shoot.
But she is flirting very hard with
something
him.
About if he has you, then he has nothing to worry about. And
like buttering him up and flirting and trying to see what she can get out of Gary.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad she's here. This element was missing from this show in the first season. Where, like, you just being pissed at Abby 24/7 is such an essential part of the Knots Landing viewing experience.
Oh, God. In all aspects, yeah.
And I'm so happy that she's here.
Yeah.
And then Sid comes out of his office and he's absolutely losing it. Just about something to do with someone's car, like something completely unrelated to anything going on. But he's very angry about it. And he's just losing it in general. He knows that his life is over, basically. And so he's just really upset.
Which you would be, of course.
Yes. And at the same time, Richard is getting very drunk. He's in his kitchen just drinking straight out of the bottle while he's making some ungodly concoction on it. It must smell bad in that kitchen because he just keeps adding alcohol to this pan. Cognac. It's got to smell like something crazy in that kitchen. But he's really drunk and he's cooking and he keeps calling Sid Saint Sid, Saint Sid, Saint Sid.
Yeah.
And Laura comes in and she's like, "Why are you drunk?" And he's like, "Oh, Sid fired me." And Laura says, What'd you do? Which, good for her.
Yes, good for her. I mean, come on.
And he's all pissed off at Sid, Saint Sid, because he had to be morally upright and not let him bribe somebody illegally. Oh, what a terrible thing Sid did.
Yeah. And Laura, when he says what he did, is like, or does she not find out till he goes outside?
So. I don't think he says specifically.
No, not until they go outside in front.
He's just kind of ranting at that point. He's like, I'm going to go over there and knock his halo off.
Yeah.
And he's yelling for Sid to come out.
Yeah.
And he's yelling so loud that Gary and Val come out of their house. And Sid comes out and they're arguing and Gary's trying to diffuse it. He's like, "Richard, you're drunk. Come on. We'll deal with it later when you're not out of your mind drunk. Just chill off at home and we'll deal with it later." And Richard's having none of it. He's gonna yell at Sid no matter what. And Sid's like, "It's okay, Gary, I'll handle it." And Richard says some stuff.
He does. He goes off the rails.
He does. He's like, no one's gonna believe that you picked her up because you wanted to help her, and kind of like as an actual accusation of what Sid might have actually done is like you picked her up because she was a cute little teeny bopper, and this makes Sid grab him, because it does sound like he's actually accusing him of
A little
this.
bit, yeah.
Yeah. So Sid grabs him. I wish he would have hit him.
I know. I thought, just punch him. Just punch him in the face.
Like you said, then he would have actually assaulted somebody, so you can't
Then he would have looked even worse. Well, not worse, but that would have added to the whole bad situation.
But I wrote down when he said, oh, you picked her up because she was cute, I wrote down, is that what you would have done, Richard? Because Richard has a history of flirting with very young girls.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he flirts with Lucy before he knows who she is. No, after he knows who she is.
Yes. Sid's daughter.
Also Annie, yes.
Yeah.
He has a history of this. So it's like, I feel like maybe that's what you would have done, but Sid's not a piece of shit like you. So Val and Abby have taken the kids out for like a picnic or something, and the kids are arguing, and it's a little too real. It was hitting a note in my ear where I was like, I get enough of this at home.
Yeah, I don't want to watch this on TV too.
But they're arguing, and Val diffuses the situation, and she's very good with these kids, is kind of what they're establishing.
Yeah, she is.
But then she has to suggest to Abby, because she is going to go to San Diego, but she doesn't know anybody in San Diego, and she's just going to start over there. And Val, don't do this.
Don't be Val right now. Don't be so damn helpful.
Don't suggest that she live here. Don't
do it. You have no idea what you're doing. Don't do it.
But she does. She suggests that Abby stay in Knots Landing.
Yep.
And Abby starts considering it. And Val has the shovel in her hand, and she is digging her own grave. You're going to wish you hadn't said that. Sid and Karen are still talking to their lawyer, and they're still trying to piece together. This is when they're like reconstructing the incident, when they're going back to where it happened. And the lawyer's saying, well, the only thing that could truly fix your reputation is a confession from her that she lied. And we can at least run that in the newspaper, and that will fix a lot of it. It can't be everything.
Not everything to everybody, but yeah.
A lot of it, yes.
It would be huge. Yeah.
The second best thing is that the case just gets dropped by the DA. And they're reconstructing the scene and what happened. And they're right in front of a store that sells the world's largest pastrami sandwich.
Right. He was trying to remember the license plate number.
Yeah, because they were talking about the van and how she didn't mention a van to the police, and that any guys were harassing her or anything.
Yep.
But she did mention it when she was worked up and yelling at Karen, and about how Sid was trying to scare her about what the guys in the van were going to do. And then afterward, second statement to the police, the van's gone again. There are no other guys harassing her in this story.
Right.
So like they're like, okay, this is the crux of it. If we can prove that these guys were there and that they were connected to her, and this is all a ruse, that she knows these guys, and this is a setup, and this is something they do all the time, if we can prove that, then we will have a case and we can get this dropped.
Right.
So Sid is like, I can't remember. I remember vaguely what it looked like. It was nighttime, so it was like a tan or maybe orange van.
He said painted like they paint them, and then he was so frustrated trying to remember the license plate number.
Yes, and Abby and Karen and Sid are at the kitchen table. First, Abby says that Olivia and Brian are spending the night at Val's house, and that she practically begged her for the kids to spend the night at her house. Val is still deep in her unresolved issues.
She does love the kids, but
she's known these kids for 2 days.
I was going to say, yeah. How do you have that much of a connection with them after just a day or two?
Like I said, she genuinely adores those kids, especially Olivia. And she's very close with them, and she loves them dearly. And it's very genuine going forward. But in these early stages, it's like, Val, you gotta do some internal reflection on this.
Yeah. You gotta see what's going on in your own head there, yeah.
And I wrote down that in this scene with this lighting, Sid's haircut is really cute. I like Sid's haircut in this scene. I think his hair looks nice. And he's like, my life is falling apart. My kids' lives are ruined at school. My business is going under. My reputation is in the garbage. And for the life of me, I cannot think of a single number on that license plate to save my neck. And he's very frustrated about it. And then that night, Karen is like, what did you say that van looked like? And Sid's like, I don't know, it was like tan, orange. She's like, I saw it. When she went over to see Pam and her mother, she was leaving and she had been yelled at that Richard was offering a bribe. And a van pulled up to the house and she knows part of the license plate because it said yuck. Y-U-K. And she was thinking, yeah, my sentiments exactly.
Yep.
Yuck. And she's like, that's it. If we can prove that that van was there at that time, then we can prove that they know each other because they were coming to her house. Then we can prove that this was all a setup and it wasn't real. And so Karen, not for the last time, has solved a case.
Yes, she has. She's very good at doing all this. And like we were saying before, if Richard had done anything, dug deeper, brought any of this up, he would have had a much better chance also. But yeah, she is. She's very good at solving all these mysteries.
She is. And yeah, she does it a few times over the course of the series. This is the first time Karen gets to sleuth something out.
Yeah, it very much fits her.
Oh, it does. She loves it. She very much enjoys it. In the future, she has a lot more opportunities to do things like this.
Yes.
And she loves it. And they narrow down from the description of the van and the license plate and the names because an owner of one of these vans has a record with Pam. They were accomplices in a robbery. This kid owns a van that looks like this. So we need to talk to this kid. Rodney is his name. And then Karen and Abby are going to take pictures of the van so that the police have a record of this van. Donna Mills is gorgeous. I just thought it in this scene. I was like, God, she's pretty.
She is very pretty. Yeah, as a kid, when I first watched this show, I thought, damn, I would love to look like Abby. I love her clothes. She's adorable.
And I was going to say about her clothes, in this early time of her being on the show, she dresses much more casually than she does later on. Later on,
money.
She dresses, well, yeah, she has a bunch of money later. But when she has money, she dresses up and she wears just so much makeup all the time.
Yeah.
But when she dresses a little more casually and her makeup is a little more natural looking, she's just gorgeous.
She is.
She's like the prettiest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. She doesn't need all that, that's for sure. She's just naturally gorgeous.
And I wrote down when she's taking pictures of the van and Karen and Abby are also going to talk to the police officers. I was like, is this legal and do I care? Because it's just really fun that they're doing this together and they're kind of doing this like little investigation.
Yeah, it's legal.
Okay, if you
I
say
mean,
so.
if you think that that's the person and you go take pictures and give it to the cops, they take it from there.
Fair. Yeah.
I would think so, yeah.
And Abby's talking to the cop who was there at the scene when Pam accused Sid. And talking to this cop like, hey, was there a van there? And he's like, yeah, there was a van there. I remember seeing it. And she shows him the picture that she took. He's like, yeah, if we could say that this is a totally unique van, which it has lightning bolts on the back. Of course it's a unique van.
Yes, it's going to stand out.
If there's no other van that looks just like this, yes, this is the van I saw, which is like the smoking gun, the last bit that they need to prove that this was a setup. And Abby is like, well, what time do you get off? And he's like, I get off at 8. She's like, oh, I'll see you then. And she's using her powers for good. In this moment, she's using them for good.
Yep.
And it's really funny because Karen, when they're leaving, is like, he's not sure if he meant it or not. I'm not sure if you meant it or not. It's really funny.
It is funny. And I think when she's talking to him, doesn't she also say, did the girl mention a van when she was in here telling
she
the
also
story?
asks him that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
And he
because she
says
kept
that she
changing her
did.
story about that.
Yeah, and he says that she did.
Yeah.
And Karen also got the lieutenant, I think, to say, yes, she yelled about a van.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, he would testify to the DA about it. And so that's pretty good police work that they've done there.
Yeah, very good.
And so they get in touch with this Rodney kid, and they're all in this meeting together. Pam and her mother and Karen and Sid and the lawyers are all there. And they're having this conversation about, like, hey, your story is falling apart here. We have all this new evidence that's come forward. Honestly, it's garbage. And this is the prosecutor saying that,
Mm-hmm.
the person who is supposed to be handling her case. And she's like, look, I thought you were on my side. He's like, I am, but it's not adding up.
Yeah.
And we need to clear this up. And she's like, well, they're lying and they've made all this up and blah, blah, blah. Then he pulls out his big guns and he says, bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Rodney, her boyfriend, who she's been convicted of robbery with in the past. He has confessed. He has said, yeah, when we don't have any money, we'll pick a car that looks like it might have some money. She'll try to hitchhike. If the guy doesn't want to pick her up, me and my buddy pretend that we're, like, harassing her and might do something to her. So the guy will come back and let her in the car. And then she'll ask for money. And if he doesn't want to give her any money, she'll threaten to cry rape. And it's word for word the story that Sid told.
It is.
And
it's while he's telling this, she just keeps saying, he's lying.
Mm-hmm.
He's lying.
And her lawyer tells her to shut up.
Uh-huh. Yep. And then the mom gets upset and is, you didn't lie. You tell him that you didn't lie, which makes her cry.
Yeah, she can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the jig is up.
And there you got a mom standing there who has defended her kid to the end. And now she finds out that this is what she's been doing.
That's terrible for her.
You would just feel awful.
You would
just
feel
break your
stupid.
Break your heart.
You would feel like an idiot for everything that you've said to people over the last few days. You would feel shocked.
Yep.
You would feel so disappointed. You would feel like, what have I done? What kind of person did I raise?
Right, that would do something this horrible to ruin someone's life that way for $100 for anything. Oh, just terrible.
I feel really bad for that mom. I feel terrible for her.
Yeah.
Because she was just trying to do the right thing by her kid.
Yes, and that's what any mom would do, defending her, saying we don't lie, and had her back through the whole thing, and then you're standing there and find out that it all was a lie.
Everything is over now. The charges have been dropped. They have gotten a confession, so at least that part of most of Sid's reputation can be repaired.
Yeah.
And we were talking about what kind of trouble Pam could get in for this. And came up with, like, going to the newspaper and putting in writing, in print, these lies about him is libel. Right. You did notable, measurable damage to his reputation, and he could sue you for libel. We never hear about this again.
No, defamation of character. Yeah. And you don't hear anything.
Hopefully he did sue her for this, because he could have gotten money for libel. Absolutely, he could have.
Yeah.
And the final scene of the episode, everything's kind of back to status quo. Sid is not going to be charged with this. It's not going to trial. Hooray. And they come home, and Laura has helped her real estate agent boss sell this house in the cul-de-sac to who else but Abby Cunningham. Yeah. Oh, hooray.
Yay, here she comes. Here comes her and everything that comes along with her. Oh, my God.
And Abby has taken Val's advice, not only living in Knott's Landing, but living on the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, living right there.
And that's going to be fun.
Oh, it's a fun ride, that's for sure. Yes,
but
indeed.
Abby's here. She's not going anywhere.
Nope.
And I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Richard walks into the house without talking to Sid or congratulating him or anything, because he's still pissed off. But who cares?
Yeah, who cares? He's Richard. On to the next situation. Yeah.
Oh, and Richard will find himself in so many situations.
Oh, yeah. Over and over.
But that's it. That's Hitchhike parts 1 and 2.
Yep.
We talked for quite a while about those, actually. We're going on an hour and a half.
Oh, wow. Nice.
But there's a lot to say in those episodes, a lot of character work. And of course, we meet Abby, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
So pick your scene. What's your moment?
I
of
know.
the
I
week?
was just trying to think of it. Go ahead and go first while I try.
I'm also trying to think of one.
Yeah.
I really like these episodes. They're both very solid episodes.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I think if I'm going soapy, it's Richard drunk outside the Fairgates house going, guilty, guilty.
I was gonna pick too. Wait, putting his arms up in the air and walking away. So I was gonna be guilty. He's so good.
He is good.
He's really
you know
good.
what a jury's gonna say about that? Guilty.
Yep. He's very good. He's very
great.
believable, very good.
I love John Plachette. I
Yeah.
love him as Richard. Love, love, love. I
Yep.
hate Richard. I love
Oh
Richard.
yeah, but you love the character. You love what he brings to it. So yeah.
All right, you're gonna have to pick a different one because I stole that one.
Oh no. Okay, then the scene with Gary when he was talking to Sid after he hung the phone up.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, when he was telling him all of that, and Sid did say, well, there is Val, and he said, well, of course there's Val, but everything you did, everything you've done for me, and you're never going to have to worry, and they give a big hug. That was good.
Gary and Sid have a very nice, interesting relationship. It will find tension in this season.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Gary genuinely loves Sid.
Oh,
I think that he's very appreciative of Sid and everything he's done. I don't think that ever changes, really.
No.
But some stuff happens.
Coming from where he has, with their storyline with Gary, with the Ewings and all that, that is a very important relationship.
It is. I mean, Sid gave Gary the chance to build his life away from the Ewings.
Yep, and believed in him,
And got him to a point where he could get himself sober, and has really supported him and gave him his job back, and has really just been there for him. And for Gary to say, I see that, and I acknowledge that, and I'm not going to let you lose this business. This is the one thing that I can protect for you, and I will do it, is really great. And I really do like that scene.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Let's look up what we're seeing next week, because I forget. Remember the Good Times is episode 3. Gary meets Judy Trent, who wants his help in getting her husband support from AA.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh.
I saw the name Judy Trent, and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
Sweet Gary made a brief reappearance in these 2 episodes. He's well and truly gone now.
Yeah.
And then episode 4, Chance of a Lifetime. Gary makes a car deal with Orchid Cab Company against Sid's better judgment. Gary also hires a female mechanic, Linda Stryker. Laura starts her real estate job. Okay, a lot happening in that one.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Those are all plots that go throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
So that's establishing the whole thread of the season, which is going to be a lot of fun to talk about, because this is the first season that is really one episode leads to the next, leads to the next. There's a continuous story in this one where there wasn't in the first season.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about all of the twists and turns. So it'll be good. Alrighty. Well, if there's nothing else to say,
all right,
we will talk more next week.
Bye.
All right.
Good night.